my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what are we going to review this week?
Well, Dave, it's my pick, and a movie that only up to a couple of weeks ago I realised I'd never picked it. Nobody else had picked it in all the time we've been doing this podcast. And it was an absolute classic movie. And again, you're like, well, why did you forget about it? I think when I was going through my era of just renting the VHSs out around this time, especially, I just started work when this came out in 95. And I was just buying ex-rentals. I love them bigger boxes. The video, we've talked about it before, the videos always seemed to be better than the home versions because they were more like bomb-proof, I suppose, because they were being played over and over by people's houses. But I definitely had this as an ex-rental. Loved it. It was just right in the wheelhouse. It's got that weird 90s fucking hue about it. That almost like grey, yellow hue that's on there, which even comes across stuff like The Last Boy Scout, which obviously was 91. This is 95. But anyway, Dave, we're reviewing a movie directed by Mr. Michael Bay. It was produced by Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, Dave, considering Beverly Hills Cop 2, Dave, which I'm very happy with. So this one stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Téa Leoni, which I think I said the other week is the X-Men link because she was married to David Duchovny, Dave. But we're doing
the X-Men link. Was she Mystique or something?
X-Files even. No, X-Files, yeah. He was a dirty dick, wasn't he? He was a fucking sex addict. Anyway, yeah. David Duchovny. But X-Files, Dave, Mulder and Scully. So this one we are reviewing is Bad Boys. So Dave, I know we talked about it last week and you said you don't remember watching it. Had you watched this before this week?
So this is, I'm ashamed to say, this is on the list of movies I should have seen but didn't see. I definitely remember it being in the video shop. I'm pretty sure it's one of those videos, though, that I took out and then played it on the video and then it just wouldn't work. Now, I don't know if you remember this, that frustrating time back in the day when you would get it home, you would, go to play it. But the amount of people, because those Blockbusters managers were not the greatest at times, Chris. So it was a lot of the times, it would be, it's probably your video player. So it was one of those, the moment had gone, it didn't work, and I just never revisited it. And I think I'm not as much of a buddy cop fan as you. I like what I like. Obviously I saw things like the Lethal Weapons, the 48 Hours, stuff like that, Beverly Hills Cop. Loved those, but it's just not a go-to genre for me. So it wasn't one of those where I was dying to go back and watch it. So it's just been there on the list of, like I say, movies that I should have seen but have never seen. So I'm glad you picked it, and I actually got to see what all the fuss is about.
Well, for me, this was iconic. I just loved it. I think it was probably because of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love that show. I know Will Smith is just a massive bellend as he's got older, Dave, and the mask has dropped and everything else. Not just because he cracks Chris Rock, but he's one of the biggest cooks going. His missus has cheated on him for years. He's also he's a Scientologist where there's supposed to be all sorts going on.
Allegedly,
Dave.
Let's put some allegedly brackets. Right?
Yeah. Allegedly. But the person, Will Smith, I've been disappointed with, say, over the last 10 years. He's not the person I thought he was, because I absolutely loved him. I loved The Fresh Prince, anything that he was in when he went into movies, because he filmed this while he was still in Fresh Prince. There was still 2 seasons to go. So I think they filmed this in 94. Fresh Prince finished in 96. So this is where his stock was rising. They wanted to do stuff. My first ever bit of music I bought, Dave, there was 2 of them. I've said it before. I blagged my mum and dad in 1990, jumped on the bus to Manchester City Centre, went to Woolworths, or it was WH Smith, it was Woolworths in the Arndale in Manchester, and I bought Salt and Pepper. Let's talk about sex, Dave. As an 11-year-old kid, probably didn't know what I was buying, just wanted to buy something. And I also bought, and that was on record, and then I bought the tape for Will Smith Summertime, Dave, with Jazzy Jeff, because I love
what a
Fresh Prince. I
tune.
remember what I always put it on every. I love that song, but I was proper in Will Smith fanboy at this point. Like just every Monday night, Fresh Prince was on. Then there was this weird rumor that went around that Will Smith had died when I was at school, and he died. Yeah, there was honestly there was a rumor going around the UK that he died around about 91. And I was fucking devastated. I can't believe it. And the next minute, he's like popping up in different things. And there's another series of Fresh Prince. But it was a real rumor. It wasn't like just because there's no internet then. But there was a big thing that Will Smith's died and stuff. So I remember as a kid being like devastated. And then it was like, no, he hasn't. But just, I was engrossed in everything. All the films he did, Independence Day, Pursuit of Happiness. I've watched loads. Even like, I suppose the older movies as well. Like I liked him in... not the Justice League, what was it called? The bloody Suicide Squad. He's good in that.
Oh, yeah.
Deadshot. Honestly, I've always liked him. The Muhammad Ali biopic he did was brilliant. I had that on DVD. Just really was one of my favourites. So, like I say, just never meet your heroes. The stuff I've seen and read about him over the years, allegedly, Dave, I'll put that in there again so that it was me who said this. Just disappoint me, but how I've not picked this, I do not know, because I love this. I've watched it so many times. I used to watch the Sky One show, cops, bad boys, what are you going to do? I used to fucking love that. You'd watch on a Friday night and it was like the greatest reality show ever. They'd be going in, busting some fucking drugs den or something, like, well, all the faces were blurred out, and it'd be like, this is unbelievable. So yeah, I don't know why I never picked it, and I'm so glad I've picked it now. I haven't watched this for about 15 years, but recently, every new release of Bad Boys, because one came out about 18 months ago. We watched it. We watched them straight away. I've been to cinema to watch the later ones as well. So, yeah, I'm glad I've picked this one off, Dave. I think this is the first in about 5 or 6 Bad Boys movies that have been made.
That cop show, my mind has been infected because I can't think of that without thinking of the show that Steven Seagal did.
That was a great show.
I think just my algorithms have been infected again with Seagal at the minute, just like fucking doing his demonstrations. And I don't know what it is, but they just get worse over time. You just see the people running at him and he just flicks a finger and then they go flying off in the other direction. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I can't think of that cop show without him anymore.
There's one with him. There's also one with who else? There's another actor who's Lou Ferrigno's done stuff like this, Dave, but he's done the odd show. He's actually a proper like deputy. He's done police work and stuff. But then Big Lou, you're not going to mess with him. Seagal's just a fucking joker, innit? You know what I mean? But there's a few actors in that who've got into stuff like this, 100%. Yeah. So but the Seagal one's just like a fucking. It's almost like he's paid everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking ridiculous.
But I mean, getting back to Bad Boys, we're at a really interesting time here, aren't we? Because, like you say, Fresh Prince is still going on. Now, I love that as well, but I didn't religiously watch it. It's just when I caught an episode and I thought it was really funny. But at this point, Martin Lawrence is bigger. He's the one who gets the top left billing. He's kind of billed above Will Smith, and so I kind of think this must have been this proper action hero breakout because, like you say, Independence was after this. Yeah. And so, it's interesting. This is a star being born right here.
Yeah, 100%. This was his big break. He'd done, obviously, the TV and the music, but this was the big one. This was like his... And to be honest, Dave, he's an unbelievable actor, Will Smith. He is. Some of the stuff he's done, he's a brilliant actor. Even Men in Black, the first one wasn't bad, but Wild Wild West, maybe not, Dave. But anyway, I've watched all of them. I've watched fucking one of them. I've watched all of them.
Now, I do have my next pick lined up, but I do also have Wild Wild West on my short list because this was 95. This was a birth of a star. But 1999, fuck me, I think is where it all started to go wrong with Wild Wild West. But anyway, Chris, on that note, should we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
Miami, sunshine, fast cars, and $1 million of stolen heroin.
So fairly quiet Tuesday in Florida.
Detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Bennett have 72 hours to get it all back.
Mike's rich, single, and drives a Porsche. Marcus is married with kids and just wants to go home. All right, that Doc. What's up, Doc?
Cheers, Bugs.
But when their only witness will talk to Mike and nobody else.
Marcus pretends to be Mike. Because apparently police procedure was more relaxed in the 90s.
Now they're swapping identities.
I'm trying to remember which one of them is supposed to be shagging whom.
The clock is ticking.
Michael Bay's directing. Something's definitely about to explode.
Guns, car chases, Miami nightlife.
And two detectives spending considerably more time arguing with each other than investigating anything.
Bad boys.
They're family. One's a family man, one's a ladies' man. Neither should be allowed near an expense account.
What you gonna do?
Probably shout at each other for another 2 hours.
Miami detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett have 72 hours to recover $100 million worth of heroin stolen from their own police station before the department is shut down. When a murder witness will only speak to Mike, family man Marcus is forced to impersonate his smooth-talking partner while Mike moves into Marcus's chaotic home life. With their identities swapped and a ruthless drug lord closing in, the two detectives must keep the deception alive long enough to crack the case. Now, Chris, I want to say, what you gonna do? What do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Every time you do what you're going to do, I've got to go, what you going to do, brother? I've got to do a Hulk Hogan if you're going to do that. You know what? It's funny because, like I said, I've not watched it for about 15 years. And I do think, we've talked about this a few weeks ago as well, what movie it was, but this has got to be one of the most iconic 90s VHS covers, without a doubt. It created a franchise for Will Smith. You're right. It was the platform for which everything was built on his action sort of movies and stuff, 100%. And he's a great actor. But I do think, Dave, like, he was still doing Fresh Prince at this point. And when I'm watching it now, there's a fucking lot of wooden acting. Not from Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I think Téa Leoni's fucking terrible in it as Julie. Like, but the premise of the movie is it's a girl who loves Mike, but she's a madam, and she's a hooker. She gets killed. No, Maxine, and she loves Mike, and she drags a friend along to this thing. Well, it's like, if your friend knows, if Julie knows Max is a fucking prostitute, a hooker, why would she then go to a party with her? Even though they were trying to play it off with this really bad dialogue, like, I'll come with you. I know I owe you a favour. Yeah, of course you will. She's a madam and she works as a call girl. What the fuck, so that's a bit far-fetched, but she idolises Mike. And I think watching it now, there's some great bits in this, and the start of it. I love the start with him out of The Last Boy Scout when they pull him over in the Porsche, and they get this thing, don't they? We've seen it before. It's almost like Riggs and Murtaugh, where they're arguing with each other, but they're not. They're just trying to distract the baddies, aren't they, so they can smack them or shoot them or something. And that's what happens. But I did read that bit was reshot afterwards because they didn't like the start. But the fact that I love the fact Mike Lowry's driving a Porsche and he's a spoilt rich kid. I don't know what it is watching it this time, but I think this is one of the movies I think I should have shelved it and kept it in the back pocket as a memory. I don't think it's bad. I really enjoy it and it's not bad. But I thought I'd be sending this right to the top. And I'm not saying where I'm putting it yet, but it wasn't the experience I thought it was, even though I enjoyed it and it was familiar, because I think they nick stuff from Beverly Hills Cop, Lethal Weapon especially, even some of the music's Eric Clapton in its delivery. It's very much a rip-off of Clapton's music from Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 especially. But for me, I love these buddy cop movies, Dave, so it's right in my wheelhouse of like, yeah, it's just stupid and chaos. But I do think what grates on me more, not just Téa Leoni, I think Martin Lawrence grates on me a bit more than I remember in this one, especially.
Yeah. I'm glad you kind of got it in there, because having not watched it, and watched it for the first time in 2026, fuck me, this is dated.
Yeah, big time.
And I could see it's enjoyable, but so's a greasy hamburger. It's this is not a good movie at all. But like I say, the flip side, it is enjoyable. And this was Michael Bay's sort of introduction, wasn't it? This was the what set him off on a path. He'd just been sort of doing music videos before. And so you're starting to see it all come together, you know, and you get these action-laden, you know, nonsensical things that happen. But like I say, I'm glad you said that about Martin Lawrence. I mean, I quite like Martin Lawrence in various things. I think he's quite funny.
Mama's House is good.
Yeah. But in this, tonally, it's all over the fucking place. So the reason I went into the silliness, into the trailer guy's silly voice, is it's a fucking farce. And I'm not sure about Bad Boys. They're fucking shit cops. Because, you know, you get the introduction to it, and I love that fucking Cypher from Matrix, so Joe Pantoliano.
Yes.
Pants. Let's call him Joey
anyway.
Pants.
Yeah, Cypher. Just say Cypher.
Yeah, so I love that he's the angry bad cop, and they've got like a fucking gym, like a whole basketball thing, and he's so busy he can take himself off there for a while. But when they go into the mansion, you know, because they're you've got 72 hours to crack the case, and they're doing this whole thing. Oh, you know, your voice is too bassy. You're going to scare the white folks. You know, have you got a cup of brown sugar? You know, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see what you're going for there. Don't think it's that funny, but okay. And then they go into the crime scene. This guy is fucking there, dead, murdered, clearly. And they just start going through the evidence, stepping all over the crime scene, making it fucking useless for forensics. Like it's a fucking Saturday. Do you remember those games you'd have on Saturday morning TV and stuff where they get put into a big tube and like you've got fucking dollar bills or whatever it is blowing up all around the place. They're just trying to grab as much as possible and like stuff it in their shirt and whatever. It's like one of those with the crime scene. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, there are some moments in the movie where, you know, it's fucking brutal. There's people getting murdered left, right, and everything. So I don't know whether to take it seriously or not. And I know it's kind of it's an action comedy, but like if I look at the gold standard being Lethal Weapon, they pull off the comedy well. Whereas here, the comedy is just farcical. And the whole thing where he's supposed to be Mike Lowry, I'm going to find it difficult not to put it the way Martin Lawrence of Mike Lowry. It goes on for so fucking long. And it doesn't need to. It's like, okay, initially, she only wants to talk to Mike Lowry. Fair enough. But once she's made contact, you don't have to keep up this pretense. It's just, I found that whole thing utterly ridiculous. And it went on like a fucking 70s, you know, Confessions of the Window Cleaner or something situation. So that was the level of farce it was.
Well, you know what? You've pricked an interest, and I do agree. Interest, pricked a memory. And I agree with that. I think you're right. It goes on for too long, and everyone's saying how smooth Mike Lowry is just because he drives a Porsche and got a suit on. Will Smith's not that smooth in this, is he? Really?
No.
That's it. Because Mike Lawrence is this like bumbling cop. He's a family man and all this stuff. But you know, there's a guy I know, and his first name's Mike Dave, and we used to go to Manchester in like '97 before I got with Sam. And we'd all go out, and he used to go to school with me, and he was one of my brother's mates. He was in my brother's year below me. And he wasn't the best with me, Dave. That calls himself Mike Lowry when we went out. And he used to do the fucking, yeah, Mike Lowry. And then try to act dead smooth with the women, Dave. Well, did he get anyone? Did he fuck? What he used to say. And for years, he's called himself Mike Lowry because of this movie. What a fucking dick. What a fucking bellend. I'm 47, he must be 45, 46. And I've even seen stuff like a couple of years ago. He don't really post on Facebook now, but on there when he's put like hashtag Mike Lowry, and I'm like, oh, you fucking dick. You absolute dick. But he used to think he was the Don and he got nowhere. What a prick. What a fucking prick. But anyway, I can say that as a friend, Dave, because we used to take the piss out of him going, "You fucking idiot, Mike fucking Lowry." Anyway, I think what's weird is when Max gets killed, and that bad guy, the French guy, is just fuck me. He is.
What's he doing with the pillow as well? Like,
That's what I mean.
he holds the pillow in the air.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how silencing it works. But then he's just shooting up the place anyway.
Exactly. Well, I'm just reading. Actually, he passed away last year, unfortunately. But he's a Turkish French actor. But he is. Yeah, I don't understand that with the pill, but he's acting it up and hamming it up in it. So fucking. When I was young, I thought he was like one of the best bad guys, in a movie. When you watch it now, it does say, Dave, to be fair, a lot of the script was changed on site. Because do you know who the first two people were supposed to play Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry, Dave?
No, go on.
Ready for this? Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. It was supposed to be. Them two were supposed to play. John Lovitz was Mike Lowry. Dana Carvey was fucking Marcus Burnett. And you're like, how? In what world was that? It was almost Saturday Night Live. Fucking ridiculous. But it shows that apparently a lot of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's scenes are improv when they're together. Yeah. So there is that connection when they're taking the piss and stuff. They're speaking because I think Michael Bay said this movie was the whitest movie you've ever come across. And then obviously they cast two black actors and they had to say to him, we need to change this. So every day on set, each scene that they were shooting, whether it was in chronological order or not, they had to get both to input what you would actually speak to each other. How you would interact. It's not just going to be, oh, that's terrible, Marcus, or whatever. It's got to be real, as two friends would, who were mates, who were from an African American background, how you would interact. And I think they get that right, and I think it works because some of the it's interesting seeing Will Smith swear at this point because I've watched him in Fresh Prince and he says fuck, I think, later on, but he doesn't swear. And then apparently before them two, it was going to be after, we got over the Dana Carvey, John Lovitz thing, it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes, which that would have been an interesting dynamic, but they're both lead actors at that point. Yeah. So it's not like, Wesley Snipes might have done his whole Sidney Dean, White Men Can't Jump character, but in the same respect, Eddie Murphy's not. Yeah, I suppose then maybe Eddie Murphy did done. Yeah, Demolition Man. That's another one we haven't done. Dave Simon. You know what I mean?
That's I'm wobbling on my choice now.
Yeah, what film that is? But I've been thinking about that for weeks. I've even been thinking of I've been thinking about Wesley Snipes, Dave. A classic Passenger 57 with Liz Hurley. What a film that is. That is a classic film. But yeah, I don't think that works, Eddie. Maybe if Eddie Murphy had done Marcus Burnett, but Eddie Murphy was still a lead actor when this come out. So anyway, we got who we get.
It's too close as well. It'd be impossible to watch something like this and not see Axel Foley.
Exactly. He's Axel Foley all day long, especially if he's playing an action movie. It doesn't work, does it? But no, anyway, I think that there's loads of this movie that are really good. I think the action's excellent. I think it's pure 90s. I think it's brilliant. But once Téa Leoni comes in as Julie, it just goes off a little bit, I think. Like, she's terrible, Dave. She's fucking terrible actress in this. I'm not saying she's got older or other stuff she was in. She's fucking awful in this. Like, she really, I don't know what it is, but her voice doesn't suit. It sounds like she's not English, but it sounds like she's English trying to do an American accent at times. It really takes me off. Sam was watching something the other day, and I can't know what the hell it was, and she's watching this program on Netflix, and I went, them two actors and English are English, or they're from the UK, and one of them was Irish, one was English, and I said, you can just tell they're trying to do an American accent. Like Tom Holland's got a great English accent, but I don't know, it's with Téa Leoni in this.
A great English accent. Great American accent, do you mean?
That as well, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. But yeah, I don't know. She's just wooden as fuck in this, and I'm not convinced by her character at all. The dogs, everything. But either way, the action with Marcus / Mike is good, and it's believable, I think, when they're coming after him. But again, there's just weird bits of dialogue that are so terrible in this now that really, as we both said, it doesn't stand the test of time at all.
Yeah, and I can absolutely see why this was iconic in the mid-90s. And like I say, I kind of enjoyed it, watching it, but as a movie, I just don't think it's very good. And I don't think I'd go in quite as hard on Téa Leoni.
Are you sure about that? So you wouldn't go in quite as hard on Téa Leoni, would you, Dave? Really?
Given half the chance, but I don't think she was good, but I also don't think the script particularly helped. But when they go into the nightclub as well, I mean, I think you're right. I think there is a much better movie that is in here. I think if they dial down the farcical stuff, and I guess what you were saying about the ad-libbing, that sort of makes sense, but some of it just doesn't work. Like when she's on they're eating something and they're on the sofa, so her and Marcus, and then he's eating something and he says, "Oh, no thanks. I want to, I'm a vegetarian." And then he goes full on, "Oh, what about the pickle? Can I eat the pickle?" And it's like, she didn't tell you not to eat anything. I don't know what it is. It was just ridiculous and it didn't work for me. But when they go into the nightclub, the action. So what I'd say is, one big surprise out of this is how good Martin Lawrence is as an action hero. I actually think that it works really well. And that scene where he's in the bathroom at the nightclub, and he's smashing that guy's head against the porcelain side, and it's full of piss. I can literally see it in my mind's eye.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
It's like, whoa, So, but I think all of that works really well. But what is she doing? Like walking into the nightclub? She's literally the key witness, and she's going to walk into the nightclub and take a shot from fucking miles away to this weird room that's at the top of the club. And also, the bad guy can spot that it's like Marcus. Oh yeah, there's that guy who I saw. And so, it's just ridiculous to me. There are so many leaps in logic. And again, if I look at this, these are not good cops. They're not good at what they do. Even going right back to the beginning that you said about that scene that was reshot where he drops the French fry in his Porsche. They're arguing, but it's not like, the Roger Murtaugh and Martin Riggs bit where they're fake arguing. They seem to be arguing most of the time, and then they just kind of carried it on. But they don't seem very good at what they do. They're hard as nails. They can take out a few bad guys in a fist fight, fair enough. But yeah, they just don't seem very good at their job, as Roy Keane might say.
No, it's job. It's the job. It's the job. No, I think you're right. I think from when they go to the nightclub, you're right. We have no evidence that she can shoot a gun. But she's been nearly killed. She's been dragged across everything. She can't go back to her apartment. She's in witness protection with this Mike Lowry. She's sort of sussing out at this point that Mike Lowry isn't Mike Lowry, and it's Marcus and stuff, because she beats Will Smith then, doesn't she? But it's the fact that they haven't told her who's who at this point, but they're saying, right, we're going out, we're going to this nightclub. And she decides, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go John Rambo on these fucking multinational criminals who have got probably, are trained in fucking being commandos and been in the army and the fucking police forces or wherever they're from. But I'll take a shot at him in a fucking nightclub. That bit is nonsense. But you're right. The Martin Lawrence, Dave, when he was doing the boxing bits and he's messing about, and I was reading about him. I didn't know this, but he was a Golden Gloves boxer. So he was a top boxer when he was younger, Martin Lawrence. Really good. So he's fucking about, but he actually grew up around boxing gyms more than Will Smith, and that. He's a proper boxer. But it's that, I do like that comedy fight scene. I mean, it's a bit iconic when Will Smith's nodding his head to that woman's stiletto, and behind him, Marcus is getting thrown through the fish tank and everything.
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah, I do like all that. Like I say, I could watch this again, no problem. But there was loads of bits where I was like, that's a bit, it's very jarring, some of the stuff. And I know I haven't really talked about him, but the angry fucking cop, the boss, Joe Pantoliano. Yeah, Joey Pants, as we're calling him now. That is so cliche through the whole movie, and it's the same fucking thing. We've seen it from Starsky and Hutch, fucking anything
Samurai
from Starsky and Hutch, Samurai. They've always got to have the fucking angry detective, haven't they? The sergeant or the captain who just doesn't like him. And I think he's a little bit more forgiving, but all of it makes no sense. And then you've also got the Beverly Hills Cop dynamic of like when you've got, especially in the first one, you've got Taggart and Rosewood, and then you've got them other two guys, you're not going to fall for a nanny in a tailpipe, and you've got like the B team, haven't you? And you've got the two guys there who look like something out. They actually look like something out of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Like they look proper. They've got the Miami t-shirts on, haven't they, and everything, like the shirts, and they're supposed to be the cops, and they're just like in the background taking the piss out of, Mike and Marcus. I don't know. There's just weird things, and to be honest, once they got a look at Marcus's registration of his station wagon when he did rescue Julie, he should have moved his family out at the house.
100%.
Why he would just leave Mike there, and you've got these gangsters actually like, outside doing surveillance on him. He's like, you've got kids in there. You would get them out ASAP, wouldn't you?
He even says they might have got me number plate.
Yeah,
exactly. He doesn't go back home.
No. And goes, right, we need to put you somewhere safe. So we've sorted this, because it's a 4-day thing, isn't it? So you're thinking, well, I'm going to put my family away for 4 days just so they can, they're safe. But no, he just leaves them there with Will. And there is comedy elements, that stuff like when he rings up and she's going, Will, put it back in. And it's to do with a picture and all that.
Yeah.
Like carry on stuff in it, and he what's stupid though, he sees his ass, he comes to the house, the gangsters are watching him, surveillance in his house, and then he's making every fucking noise possible, like it's a Laurel and Hardy show. One of them, like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon of like, don't make us, not Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, where he's trying to get Jerry and the dog's asleep. The dog like would grab fucking Tom's leg or something and cuddle his leg or something like that. And he's there trying to not make a noise. And then he gets his hand stuck in a fucking mouse trap. And he's, I can just see I can see it now, the vision of like Tom holding his fucking mouth as his head goes red because he's fucking in pain. And there's all these things going, but she doesn't once jump and go, what's all that commotion outside the house? Yeah. And Mike Lowry, this top detective, only realizes someone's outside when he collapses for about the third time of making constant noises. It's just, it is, some of that is so fucking wooden. I've got to hold my hands up there, Dave.
Like I say, it's farcical, but also they're just not good at their jobs. Again, I keep going back to that opening bit, right? When they're in the Porsche. They don't even know that they're going to get carjacked right up until the moment they're going to get carjacked.
I know.
They're not aware of their surroundings at all. Fucking Mike nearly drowns Marcus. He's been fighting with him for 5 minutes before he, right, it's you. What are you doing in the kiddies pool sort of thing? And so it's just, like you say, they're supposed to be top cops, but I don't think they are. I don't think they ever really demonstrate that.
I don't think they do, to be honest. But when eventually because obviously what's silly is the bit of foreshadowing when they go after him after the nightclub, is they're arguing on the bridge, aren't they? And the police, not the police, the TV cameras there with the helicopter, and it shows like Marcus and Mike arguing with this girl, and then his missus. I've got to say, Dave, Marcus's missus is rather nice, but she decides to come to the Mike's apartment, doesn't she? And then bumps into, and Julie already's clocked that Marcus is not Mike.
Yeah.
Because she's taking the piss going like, I'm feeling funny. Are you feeling a bit funny?
Yeah, she's totally sussed it
that?
out by that point.
Yeah. She knows he's not who he is. And she gets, I do like that bit though, when she gets to the door and she goes, is Marcus here? And she went, big or small? Small.
Yeah.
Come in. She knows. And that's when she starts. What's silly though, they're arguing and they've got to keep this woman safe. And Julie can just come, get all the stuff around him, walk out the apartment again, playing into your narrative, and you're right, of their shit detectives. And then she comes into the hallway and there's the fucking big bad. There's Antoine with his fucking bad boys. He's and they shoot nobody, don't they? They must fire about 100 bullets and nobody gets shot at this point. Julie gets fucking taken, Mark. But then you get that running scene. I've got to give Will Smith credit because I've read loads on going back to Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, Dave, they're a man after my own heart. You know how slow I run. Wesley Snipes, he's one of the slowest runners they've ever come across. So there's a show they do where he's a basketball player and a movie, and he's got to run this line against a basketball player, baseball. He's got to run. No, maybe it's American football. Anyway, he's got to go up against someone else, and they had to make it in slow motion because the person next to him had to look like he was really running fast when he was going dead slow because he was predominantly just such a slow runner. With Will Smith, what I'm getting is Will Smith looks rapid, doesn't he, when he's running? It looks like a Martin Riggs type run, shirt open. He's chasing after him to try and catch Julie. But again,
and that's iconic. That's
yes.
what, that's the moment I think you get to see, okay, this guy's going to be a big action star.
Yes, yeah, because he's good. That scene is brilliant. And I think that's where there's that bit where he catches Marcus, Tony Marcus jumps on the taxi and they're shooting at him and he comes off and we've seen he's about to get killed and then they roll around on the floor with the guns, don't they? And they're covered in sweat. And then when they stand up, they're so iconic for like proper pop culture moments, aren't they, for Bad Boys? If you saw that movie of our age, everyone would go, oh, it's Bad Boys. You would know that movie straight away, wouldn't you, from our age? Because it was a massive movie. It was massive. So, yeah, I love that, but I also like watching it now. I'm like, the amount of things that had to align for this to happen was unbelievable at the end. But again, Julie, they should have just killed Julie. There was no
She's
reason.
literally the easiest person to shoot
Exactly.
when they're in that crossfire. She's on the floor. It's like, just shoot her. And I get you could say, oh, they needed a hostage. Just fucking grab some random person off the sidewalk. Kill your witness, still get another hostage. It's just, there are so many leaps in this.
Oh, unbelievable. But even then, from nowhere, we do get the random fucking like Mexican Colombian drug baron. So fucking Antoine's there.
Yeah.
They've escaped, haven't they? They love. I'd say what ages really badly, Dave, and how they catch him is they ring up. Now, everything we've ever watched in movies when they're trying to track someone's number is they ring them up. They have to keep on the phone for 3 minutes, don't they, to catch the location in any movie we've ever watched. In this one, he literally just rings up and Mike Lowry just goes, hey, is that Romeo? And they're all laughing, going, oh, is it fuck? And that's it's like, we've got him. It's how shit and pixelated the fucking tracking thing is from the 90s, which would have been ahead of its time. But for us now, you'd be able to see the car moving, you'd be able to see everything, wouldn't you? They could zoom in on it, Street View would have it, you'd have like camera zooming in. It's the fact that they know where they are. When they end up at that hangar at the airport, it does remind me a little bit, I know it sounds silly, but it reminds me a little bit of Con Air. When, I know this was done before Con Air, but when they're trying to get away in the plane and it's hidden in a hangar, there's a bit where they're stopping and it bursts out and obviously Thingy's car gets fucking combed, Thingy's car gets fucked, doesn't matter the commitments, his car gets knackered, doesn't it? It's a lovely car, the Corvette. And I think these little bits are very reminiscent of the 90s, but then that whole interaction and the scene where they're shooting at him and stuff, and then the guy, the Colombian drug baron, happens to have a fucking Shelby Cobra, Dave, one of the most expensive cars, even in the 90s, ever made. And Marcus has got a Porsche. And you're like, well, we know where this is going. And we get the whole fight. And they both get shot, don't they? Marcus gets one in the shoulder. Marcus gets one in the leg. And then from nowhere, and he does say it, Will Smith, to be fair. Mike does say it, but there's a bit where Mike's on the floor. He's out of it. And then the Porsche comes in because they're going to change against Antoine because Antoine's killed the Colombian drug guy. And it's when he goes, how the fuck have you left the gunfight with your fucking boy and gone and got a fucking car? And that's one thing that it's almost like us as the audience, everything else in this movie is unexplainable, these little leaps and that. But it's like Will Smith was like, why don't we put this in? Because it would make no sense why Marcus would fuck off and go and get the Porsche, while his boy's down. He wouldn't know, would he? You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't happen. So I do like that little bit of nod to the audience, but I think they should have done that all the way through because it was few and far between. That makes sense. But the ending is classic 90s, 80s, 90s action in it. Beverly Hills Cop 2 especially. It's very reminiscent of Beverly Hills Cop 2, that ending, for me, personally.
See, I thought this whole weird hangar setup, I feel like some of this has gone into the Fast and Furious franchise. I feel like the nonsensical scenes, the nonsensical sets that are set up for just a great action shot. I think that's what you're seeing here. And like I say, Michael Bay would go more extreme from that. In fact, we haven't done The Rock, actually, have we? I don't think we've done that one.
You ruined it. That's been on my list for a while, because that's the unofficial James Bond, Dave. You know the story behind that, don't you?
Oh, right. No, I don't. But keep your powder dry, because I'm sure we'll discuss that when we get to it. So, yeah, it just reminded me of Fast and Furious at the end, and where you're getting that ridiculous, this weird cat and mouse chase thing, and they're trying to, these doors that are in the middle of nowhere in a fucking airfield start to close, and then they obviously they get the bad guy, and then they Mark, the thing is, these cops as well as being shit, they're fucking bloodthirsty. Because the whole thing is he's gonna murder this guy, because he was the one who killed Max and whatever. It's like, you are a fucking police officer, and he's still on the floor, and they don't ever think to cuff him. They don't ever think to pat him down or anything. Is he packing somewhere else? So, and then we get he tries to shoot, and you get this little reflection, don't you? Again, I was trying to figure out the physics of that. It doesn't quite stack up, but then Mike gets to shoot the bad guy, and then they all is well. But I'm like, you, by being shit, you made that situation happen. So again, it's so forced, and again, it sounds like I'm really beating up on the movie. There is something enjoyable about it, but the amount of leaps, it just doesn't stack up at all. I get why it was sort of popular in 95, but yeah, I just think this is not a good movie.
It's not held up as well as I thought you did. I still love it. I still love the end and everything, Dave, but I think it really, the age thing kicks in. There's a real, it's weird because action movies, they don't usually, you get, I can watch Lethal Weapon now, and it's still absolute classic. It's still an absolute classic, and it doesn't age for me. It's just such a good movie. Beverly Hills Cop, everything, and that's not being biased because there's such good movies. With this, it just feels off, and I agree. It just feels completely off. I can't explain it. I was very shocked how I felt watching this, because I thought, nah, it's not. It's not. It's good. It's good, and it wasn't. It was just. It's good, but it's not. As Roy Walker would say, it's good, but it's not right.
Was that Roy Walker doing his Arnold impression?
Something like that, though. Fucking brilliant. But no, but it is. It's one of them where you just there's something off about this, and that's what I couldn't really put my finger on. I think watching it now, and I felt this. Not disappointed because I loved it, but yeah, I agree with you. I think it's not aged as well as I thought it would, even though it's still a classic. And I will watch it again, 100% watch it again. It's not what I thought it was, to be honest. But anyway.
Very good, very good. So, Chris, shall we get into our final review?
Let's go. So, Dave, for me, Will Smith, brilliant. Little peek behind the curtain of where he ends up as a actor, and that definitely he's good in it for me. I like him. I like his dynamic with Martin Lawrence. I really do. But I do think it's not aged as well as I thought it would. I think the action settings are brilliant. Michael Bay's DNA's all over it. Jerry Bruckheimer. It feels like I should love it because it's got so many things that are like Lethal Weapon, Beverly Hills Cop. It really is a bit of me. But then watching it now, I say 15 years past the time when I've actually last seen it, doesn't seem as good. And the last Bad Boys was really good. The last one that came out for Bad Boys Ride or Die, whatever it was really good. I enjoyed it. I think there's been 4 Bad Boys movies. Really enjoyed it. One in 2020, one in 2024. 2 great movies for me. Just pure action nonsense. bit far-fetched, but they're doing another one, I think, at some point. So I think I'm going to put it, Dave, in Hill Valley. It's not, I thought I was going to go to Cloud City. I was so excited watching it. And then as I'm watching it, I'm like, Dave's going to fucking hate this. I just know he is. But anyway, still a great movie for me. Still one I hold in high esteem, but just not as good as I thought. So what about yourself, Dave?
So this is a tough one because I know how much love this film has with people. And if I'd have watched this, if my copy had have actually worked or I'd have got out a replacement, I think I'd have enjoyed it. But the thing is, that didn't happen. And watching it for the first time this year, I think it's still enjoyable. It's still got some great action scenes. There is some great chemistry between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I think you're definitely seeing why Will Smith went on to become this bigger kind of A-list star in terms of being an action hero, not a musician or TV sitcoms or personality. So I can see all of that, but it's just the nonsense of it, the farcical nature of the script. And the thing is, there's so many other good buddy cop movies in this genre. I don't think it stands up to any of those. So I've kind of got to measure it against those things, the Lethal Weapons, the Beverly Hills Cops, the 48 Hours. I think they're all much, much better at the buddy cop movie. And so I feel quite bad about this, but I am going to put this in Elm Street. So I think objective, and the thing is, it is a bit kind of conflicting because I will watch this again. I'm not saying there's not enjoyment to be had, but in terms of being a movie, I just think it doesn't stand up at all. And so, did enjoy it, but just don't think it's that good. But there are some star moments in there.
Yeah, there is some good moments, and I think it's a shame. I don't disagree with you, Dave. Don't disagree with you at all. I can see it because I was wavering myself, going, "Oh no, I can't put it in the lower." But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. So, Dave, just remember the classic I've put on you. It's your pick next week, my friend. What are we going to be doing?
You know what, Chris? We talk about... So the reason we're doing this one this week is you thought, right, how have I not picked this ages ago? We've been doing this for years now, haven't we? And there's certain films that just made their mark, whether it was in the 80s, in the 90s, whenever it was, it was a massive movie at that time. And I did a back and forth with Clark. I asked him, based on what Dave's picks were historically, what could be a pick that, I haven't done before. And it came up with this movie. And I was like, well played, sir. Well played. And this one has been on my shortlist, but for various reasons. Regions?
Regions, that one as well.
I just hadn't picked it, but I thought, well, seeing as Clark's, said, what about this one? I thought, you know what? Let's do it. This one, Chris, is from 1980. It stars Timothy Dalton, Max von Sydow, Brian Blessed, Sam J. Jones. This one is Flash Gordon. Now let's get into the trailer.
What plaything can you offer me today?
Is that Timothy Dalton there?
The planet.
Yes.
I didn't realise that. Is it Ming the Merciless?
It's an attack.
No, so Max von Sydow is Ming the Merciless. But
right.
Timothy Dalton is in there. It's a bit of a Robin Hood character.
Let's all team up and fight him. Prepare for torture!
Nice 4K trailer this day.
Yeah.
Stop at nothing.
This looks amazing, to be fair.
To be honest, it looks really good, Dave. You have to seek out the 4K remaster.
Flash Gordon is still alive.
Gordon's alive?
So many iconic lines.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, definitely a copyright strike for this one.
For that one, yeah. Oh no, you know what, Dave? I'm actually looking forward to this.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know why. I've seen loads of clips of it, and the song's iconic in it, obviously, but yeah, I am for some reason.
I mean, all the way through, the soundtrack is unbelievable. I've not watched this for probably 20 years or something, so taking a bit of a chance as well. Like, is it really going to stand up? But yeah, we'll see.
I think it will. I think it will.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I don't know why.
It was silly to start off with, so it's not as if it's going to age badly in that way. So just but I thought, you know what? Once it got into my head that we should do this, I thought, yeah, it's got to be done.
It's got to be done. No. You know what? Honestly, I'm not just saying that. I'm quite quietly looking forward to it. But anyway, thank you, everyone, as always, for your support. We do appreciate. If you want to email us, the VHSStrikesback@gmail.com. If you follow us on social media at VHSStrikesback. If you do want to support us, please go up to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. So the roll call of honor, a big thank you to Chris, Graham, Matt, Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Lee, Mike, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt, Hells, Ken, Lucky Luda Green, Herbs Jack, Math Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So thank you so much for all your support, guys. We do appreciate it. Another week, Dave, another classic in the bag. I've got some terrible ones. I think my next one's going to be terrible. I teased it, and I've gone with Bad Boys. I didn't get the outcome I wanted. However, Dave, it is my song this week, and I have pulled lightning out of a bottle for this one, Dave. So I made this song. I know you get a lot of praise, and quite rightly, because some of your songs are amazing, but I have upped my game recently with some of my picks. So this one, Dave, is inspired from one of my favourite music videos, songs from the 90s, which I'm annoyed now I don't have it on in my car, so I'm going to have to make sure to put it on in my car next time. It's inspired by the Beastie Boys' Sabotage, Dave. So nice. I love that video, love that tune. It's brilliant. This is pure Beastie Boys. If you're going to put it on, it's loud and in your face. So if you've got your earphones in and it's fully, this is going to blast your ears off. But anyway, this is my take on Bad Boys with a bit of Beastie Boys Sabotage. This one's called, I don't know what it's called, Dave. But anyway, this one is called, no, it's not called Bad Boys. It's called Who's the Baddest? Sorry. So enjoy, my friend. I've been so excited for you to hear this one. You might not like it, but I played this over and over, and I don't do that very often with my songs. But hit it, Dave.
Miami, 1995. Two detectives. One massive drug bust. One extremely questionable police budget.
Bit of Limp Bizkit.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently, nobody told him to calm the fuck down. Mike rolls up in the Porsche looking way too clean. Marcus says, mate, that's my wife's machine. One's got the money, one's got the stress. Both got guns and a terrible sense of dress. Miami Heat, blue lights flash. Marcus wants a family, Mike wants cash. Drugs disappear, criminals run. These two detectives think this shit's fun. Who's got the gun? Mike! Who's got the plan? Marcus! Who's gonna mess it up? Bug report! Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do when Mark starts shooting and Marcus hasn't got a clue? Bad boys, running through a minivan. One's got the money and the other one's got backlash.
I like this. This is a bit Rage Against the Machine, a bit bit Royal Blood.
Marcus looks terrified. Oh, what the hell? Mike says, relax. I know what to do. Marcus says, you always say that, then I have to rescue you. Warehouse doors, helicopters fly. Somebody shooting, nobody knows why. Cars get wrecked, windows explode. Mike and Marcus are back on the road. Marcus! The bad guys are here! So, Mike, what happens now? We catch the bad guys. And Marcus? I'm going home. Nah. Fuck off, Mike! Bad boys! Bad boys! Bad boys! For fuck's sake.
Amazing stuff. I love that, Chris. I think, like I say, I know you mentioned about Sabotage. That's on my gym list, by the way, my gym workout list. But yeah, definitely a Rage Against the Machine feel, or like say more recently something like Royal Blood. But no, it's a crack at that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you're actually more Rage Against the Machine. Actually, now you've said that, it is. But yeah, just I've got different variations of it, and I've just been pissing myself because some of them, like obviously, when you create these songs, it don't make sense. So, but no, I love that. I love the little hook where he goes, "Bad boys," but it's like a little bit of a play.
Oh
on the
yeah,
original.
no, it's good,
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, good one. But I apologise, anyone listening, because it'll blow your fucking ears off, I think.
But in a good way.
Yes.
In a Mike Lowry way, or maybe not. But
Mike Lowry.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Great chat today. Sorry it didn't quite stand up the way you hoped, but I can't wait for next week, So thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do? Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back. That's not.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go. All right. Ding, ding. Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid. Yeah, maybe you stupid. You ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I'll see you in 6 months.